We all get the urges and cravings. Our tummies come screaming and demanding a snack. Our first instinct is to grab for those sugary, sweet, and delicious snacks or drinks to tie us over till our next meal. In 2014, Salon.com stated that Americans consume roughly 130 pounds of sugar a year. Right now, the average American consumes about 765 grams of sugar, where back in 1822, it was only 45 grams. Also in 1822, the average person would consume about 10 pounds of sugar, where now it's up to 130 pounds. That is roughly 1.7 million Skittles that could fill a commercial dumpster. What happened over these 200 years? Processed foods. We have all heard the saying from Mary Poppins, a spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go down. The American Heart Association says that the average adult should consume less than 10 teaspoons a day. The American adults are consuming roughly 22 teaspoons a day, where kids are consuming 32. Maybe we are taking the saying a little too literally. Sugar is creating an unhealthy lifestyle that people don't see. People only see that in order to lose weight, you need to burn more calories than you take in. But sugar is leading to a major health problem that is being substituted in our foods. As a person who has lost 18 pounds from cutting out pop, limiting my sugar intake, and exercising regularly, I know the impact that sugar is having on our lives. I've read articles that says that sugar is the major culprit in our society. I've also watched a well-known documentary called Sugar Coated that points out all the negative side effects that sugar is having on us. In order to live a healthier life, we need to limit the amount of sugar we eat. First, I'll tell you how we are consuming so much sugar every year and the health problems that sugar is causing us. I'll start by diving into how we consume 130 pounds of sugar a year. In 2015, SugarScience.org made a list that showed 61 different names that the FDA allows food companies to use as a substitute instead of listing sugar. This makes it easier for the food companies to hide all the negative ingredients in their food. In looking for healthier alternatives, we look at the ingredients list and we have no idea what half of them are. So how do we know if what we are eating really does have sugar or not? We all know that when we reach for a box of cookies, it's going to have sugar in it. Nearly 74% of packaged foods in our supermarkets are spiked with added sugars. So when you bring home your food from the grocery store, did you know that when you pull out your salad dressing, your chips, your bread, your ketchup, and your tomato sauce, that all these items have sugar in them? Because we find sugar in a lot of food we consume, we become addicted and our taste palates crave these sugary foods. Because we find in 2013, Science.com did a study that showed the similarities that the effect of sugar has on our brain, just as drugs would. So you were looking to lose weight and figured the best way is to buy fat-free foods, right? False. Many of these foods that are low or fat-free have high levels of trans fats. These companies take out all the things that make the food fat-free, but that also includes the stuff that makes the food taste good to us. In order for these foods to taste good, the food companies begin to add sugar to make our taste palates happier. Everyone loves a glass of orange juice, and our kids love the chewy fruit snacks. These foods may seem healthy and even marketed as being made with real fruit. Most of these are just as bad as candy. To make these snacks and juices, the food companies concentrate the fruit, which raises the sugar ratio. Because of this, when your kid eats these fruit snacks, 43% of every bite they take is pure sugar. A normal serving of fruit would be 1 orange, but in order to get an 8-ounce glass of orange juice, you need roughly 3 to 4 oranges. That's tripling your natural sugar intake right there, and not to mention the added sugar that they put into the juice to make it taste better. Now that your blood flows like maple syrup through your veins, let's see what health problems you will have to deal with now. Consuming large amounts of sugar is taking a toll on your body and taking years off your life. Sugar has been linked to increasing your risk of obesity, diabetes, and heart disease. More than 1/3 of Americans are considered to be obese, and 101 out of 20 are considered extreme obese. The states that have the highest rate of obesity are the southern states, where soul food and barbecue reign supreme. This is because sugar is one of the main ingredients in barbecue sauce. Type 2 diabetes is a result of a high-calorie diet and being overweight. Because Americans are consuming large quantities of unhealthy food that is loaded with sugars, type 2 diabetes is on the rise. Healthline.com in 2014 showed that there are roughly 29.1 million people that have type 2 diabetes. Out of those, 8.1 million are being undiagnosed and uncertain of the disease they might have. A 20-ounce pop raises your risk of a heart attack by roughly 30%. Roughly 610,000 people every year die in the United States from heart disease. It's been proven that a molecule found in sugar has been shown to change the muscle protein in a person's heart, and too much of it could lead to heart failure. In 2014, USAtoday.com states that both tooth decay and cavities have reached an epidemic proportion. This creates a lot of problems and can put burden on a family. I've seen this firsthand as my 3-year-old son had to have caps put on his teeth because the enamel has been wearing off on the back. Nearly half the kids between 6 and 11 have had a cavity in their permanent teeth. In order for you to lower your chances of gaining any of these health problems, it is vital to cut out your sugar out of your diet. So in order for you to live a healthy lifestyle that limits your medical problems, you need to limit your sugar intake. Today I told you how we consume 130 pounds of sugar every year and the health problems that come with it. I hope that we begin to finally take charge and action against sugar and stop letting it control and ruin our lives. To do this, we need to start eating more organic foods and stop using processed meals as a recurring meal replacement. I hope you will use this information to influence your decisions when it comes to making unhealthy choices that include foods loaded with sugars. So the next time your body is craving sugar, consider saying no. Thank you.